You're thinking about buying Stalker 2 and you've seen all these different options, so you're asking yourself which one fits me and am I willing to spend a certain amount of money on it? What value does it get me? So to help you save time and hopefully make an informed decision, I'm going to be breaking down every single edition. And if you're watching this before the release date, give you all-time critical info that you need to know about pre-ordering and the physical editions. A few important bullet points. The game is releasing for PC and Xbox on Wednesday, November 20th, with no details known yet on a specific time as I'm recording this. There are digital and physical editions, so let's break them down one by one. They're available on Steam, GOG, the Epic Game Store, and the Microsoft Store, where you can purchase it for PC, Xbox, or via Game Pass. But be aware that Steam is the only storefront where you'll get this exclusive dynamic theme, an animated avatar, and frame, which are nice to have if you're a hardcore Stalker fan and want all the swag available, but other than looking like the biggest, baddest Stalker out there, it won't get you anything that impacts actual gameplay. First up is the Standard Edition, containing simply the full game for $60 US or Euros or £50. Moving on to the Digital Deluxe Edition at $80 US and Euros or £66, and in addition to the full game, this comes with a bonus side quest, a digital art book, the official soundtrack, and extra gear cosmetic skins divided in two groups, and I'll explain why that is in just a bit. So group 1 contains 1 extra costume skin and 3 unique weapon skins. The second group contains 2 costume skins and 3 more weapon skins. Now the reason that there are 2 groups is that everything from the second group will also be transferable to multiplayer. Yes, you heard correctly. In case you haven't been made aware of this detail, Stalker 2 will be getting a free multiplayer upgrade after launch. Now more details about this haven't been released yet, but being able to elevate your experience in either co-op or PvP will surely be something to look forward to for a lot of people, myself included. Unfortunately, no footage is available for this gear, otherwise I would have shared it with you guys, but the most important takeaway here is that all gear mentioned is consistent of purely cosmetic skins, so no unique items with their own stats or anything. You don't need to worry about missing out on any premium gear that will actually affect your gameplay experience. I'll park this topic for just a minute. First, let's look at the Ultimate Edition at $110 US or Euros or £90, which for $50 above the Standard Edition gets you everything from the Deluxe Edition plus even more skins to be used in multiplayer in the form of 1 extra costume skin and 4 more weapon skins. And last but certainly not least, you'll also get the Season Pass, giving you access to all future DLC in addition to the 2 already planned story expansions. Now there was a lot to go through already with just the digital editions alone. I hope it was clear enough and to the point, but I'm also curious about your thoughts on the different content so far. So feel free to pause the video and leave me a comment. Moving forward, I want to make 2 very important time-critical remarks about physical edition availability and pre-ordering. Now, what do you get for pre-ordering? Well, the content is equal between all game editions, both digital and physical ones, and it's made up out of extended campfire content, which translates into more guitar tunes and tales that you can hear in-game around the Stalker's campfires. This Gvintar rifle, I'm sorry if I'm butchering the pronunciation here, I'm sure I am, that has custom attachments and a built-in Geiger counter, a Sunrise Stalker suit that should make it easier to endure harsh environments, and a special patch that basically signals to other players in multiplayer this person pre-ordered. Again, just to be sure, these are all skins, no unique items, but I couldn't find out if this is just for single player or also transferable to multiplayer. I'm guessing the latter because it makes sense judging from the other additional digital content that's also transferable, but I couldn't tell for sure. So if you're watching this and you do know the answer, please let me know in a comment with a source so I can refer to it in the comments for everyone to read. Just to be clear, I'm not trying to convince you to pre-order. That is of course your decision to make, but you should be aware of today's date, at least the date when you're watching this video, because Stalker 2 is releasing November 20th, which means you might only have a short amount of time left should you decide to pre-order. Now, if you do want to try and get your hands on a physical edition, and I say try at this point, because know that I received this email you see on your screen right now past Friday the 15th, indicating that Monday, November 18th will be the last day to pre-order physical editions, but you might already find out if you go to one of these websites and look for yourself that they have already sold out because the demand is crazy, with GSC already having called for a second production run which is selling out fast as well, so just keep that in mind. To give you an overview of the physical editions, these can be purchased at region-specific vendors, and I'll put it up on your screen right about now so you can see what applies to you, because part of Europe is covered by Game Legends, North and South America and the rest of Europe are covered by DPI, and Ukraine itself is covered by Mojo. Now you can find these links on the blog post. I've included the link in this video's description as well, or you can just find it on the Stalker 2 website under news. Unfortunately, I cannot include a uniform price for all of you watching, since prices vary depending on what regional vendor you're looking at, not because they've upped their own price margins, but due to the shipping cost that you will have to pay for on top of the cost of the game edition of your choosing, and the larger and heavier the parcel, the more you pay. However, I do want to give you a quick indicator based on the Game Legend website, who are offering the standard edition for 60 euros, the limited edition for 80 euros, the collector's edition for 190 euros, and the ultimate edition for the ultimate price of 390 euros. A lot of money, especially the last two, so let's review the content, starting with the standard edition, which contains the base game, and for physical items you'll get a letter from the developers, a souvenir zone permit, a sticker pack, and possibly a steelbook with design specific for the standard edition. I say possibly because, as you can read in the fine print down here, these aren't guaranteed, which likely has to do with the time of pre-ordering and this being a second production run, so you might be getting a plastic case or a universal design steelbook, just something to be aware of. Moving on to the limited edition, for 20 euros extra, you'll get everything from this standard edition plus a poster, faction patches, a Stalker 2 logo dog tag, and a multi-tool keychain with Firestarter. Now, very important guys, the physical limited edition does not have the same content as the digital deluxe version, so the bonus quest and extra gear are not included here. The physical limited edition only contains the base game plus these physical items mentioned just now. Next up is the collector's edition, where the price goes up from 80 for the limited edition to 190 euros, because now you'll also receive a physical art book and a Stalker figurine, which will be the main attraction for lots of folks, and judging from the imagery, I say it's about 20 to 25 centimeters or 8 to 10 inches tall. And this time around you'll also receive additional digital content, same as with the digital deluxe edition, being the bonus side quest, the special skin, and 3 unique weapon skins for single player, and 2 additional suit skins and 3 weapon skins for multiplayer, and of course the digital art book and official soundtrack. And then, ultimately, the Ultimate Edition takes it to the ultimate level by adding this artifact container lamp and this exclusive Stalker backpack to the mix, representing a 200 euro price increase up from the collector's edition, adding up to 390 euros. Now, for digital content on top of what we've seen with the collector's edition just now, you'll also receive the added digital content, same as with the digital Ultimate Edition. That's a lot of digital. Now, being the season pass and another costume skin and 4 more weapon skins. A final important notice about physical editions is that if you pre-order now, your order will be allocated from the second production run. Now, that means that you will receive a digital game key on the day of release, but your physical items will not arrive anytime sooner than April 2025, which is indicated in the small printing here as well. Quite important to know in my opinion if you were hoping to display that figurine next week somewhere on your stream or in your room. So now comes the usual consideration: am I going to spend more money beyond the standard edition? I can break it down into 3 points to consider when it comes to spending extra money. Point number 1, content. All suits and weapons mentioned are skins, so you're not missing out on an exclusive overpowered beginner's weapon. And then there's also the chance that they might be purchasable after launch as DLC at some point in the future, beyond the 2 story expansions already announced. That leaves mostly one side quest, the digital art book and the official soundtrack to make the difference. So what I'll do, because I've pre-ordered the physical collector's edition, I'll make a follow-up video that covers all the details of the extra digital content, so you have some extra insight if you don't plan on pre-ordering and you're waiting until after release to pull the trigger on purchasing. Point number 2, technical shenanigans at release. Developers work really hard to bring their product to market and in the best state possible. However, it's still impossible to guarantee it's free of bugs. Yes, Stalker 2 has gone gold 2 weeks ago, meaning it's free of major game-breaking bugs, but that doesn't rule out smaller issues. Now, perhaps this is something that weighs more heavily in your decision to purchase, especially when you're not pre-ordering. And point number 3, supporting the devs. From this perspective, you probably care less about weighing how much value you get out of additional content, but you trust the studio enough based on your past experiences with their games, or you simply love what they have created with this upcoming title that you're willing to essentially tip them for all their hard work and sacrifices to make this game happen. And I know some of you watching will have pre-ordered a long time ago because this is your game. You've been waiting for so long for Stalker 2 to come out, but if you're watching this and you're a more casual player, or you've never played Stalker before, then my estimate at this point is that there's no pressing reason as of yet that makes a more expensive edition really necessary in order to have a so-called quote-unquote better experience or more fluent gameplay experience, regardless of whether you're watching this video before or after release, because everything I've just mentioned in terms of the digital editions will still apply. Having said that, if you've enjoyed your time watching, then be sure to give this video a like to support it. I also love reading your take on this game, so leave a comment to share your thoughts. Now, if you like watching more breakdowns and reviews about open world or strategy games, then consider subscribing to the channel and activate the notifications bell to get a heads up when the next video is released. When you're already a subscriber, thank you for your support. I appreciate you guys for using some of your precious time to watch my content and helping this channel grow. Now, for now, as always, have fun gaming, and I hope to see you next time here on the channel.